In 1988, Hollywood released Mississippi Burning, a gripping film about racial violence, civil rights, and justice in the Deep South. The movie shocked audiences and won critical acclaim. But what many people don't know is that the real story behind Mississippi Burning is even darker, more painful, and far more centered on Black suffering and resistance than the film ever showed. Tonight, we're uncovering the true events, the real people, and the truth Hollywood softened. The events behind Mississippi Burning took place in 1964 during a pivotal moment known as Freedom Summer. 3 civil rights workers were murdered in Neshoba County, Mississippi. James Chaney, a 21-year-old Black Mississippian, Andrew Goodman, 20, and Michael Schwerner, 24. Their crime, you might ask? Trying to register Black voters. Chaney was born and raised in Mississippi, so he knew all too well about the dangers, but he still chose to fight. The 3 men were arrested by a deputy sheriff who was secretly a member of the Ku Klux Klan. After being released late at night, they were followed, kidnapped, tortured, and murdered. This wasn't the work of a few rogue racists. The Ku Klux Klan had deep connections to the local police, sheriffs, judges, and local business owners. Mississippi in the 1960s operated under racial terror enforced by law. Black citizens who spoke up were firebombed, beaten, lynched, or simply disappeared. The film Mississippi Burning focused heavily on 2 white FBI agents, played by Gene Hackman and William Dafoe. They were portrayed as heroes, but the real heroes were the Black Mississippians that had been fighting and dying long before the FBI showed up. The FBI launched a massive investigation only after national attention exploded. Over 400 Navy sailors were brought in to search swamps and rivers. They found the bodies of Goodman, Schwerner, and Chaney buried under an earthen dam, and it was determined they had been shot. Chaney had been severely beaten before he was shot and killed. But here's what the movie doesn't tell you clearly. The FBI was well aware of the Klan violence for years, but they often chose not to intervene, hoping the state or local governments would eventually do the right and moral thing. Eventually, the federal government had to step in because they were obviously so full of hate and corrupt. Also, this event had become world news and they were forced to act. It doesn't hurt to mention that 2 white men were killed, which probably played a key factor. 1967, 7 men were convicted. The sentences? 3 to 10 years, and some served less than 6 years, and no one was ever convicted of murder. The deputy sheriff who helped orchestrate the killings? He walked free for decades. It wasn't until 2005, over 40 years later, that Edgar Ray Killen, a Klan leader, was finally convicted of manslaughter. The film Mississippi Burning made one major choice. It centered white saviors instead of Black courage. James Chaney, the only Black victim, received the least screen time, despite suffering the most brutality. Local Black organizers, churches, and families were pushed into the background. Hollywood turned a story of Black resistance into a story of white redemption. That doesn't mean the film is worthless, but it just means it's incomplete. For more great content, check out the channel. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.